Hey guys, it's me, Crystal from Marching North. Today I'm going to show you how to make a macrame mandala wall hanging, and you can find all the supplies you'll need down in the description below. Let's get started. So first what you're going to do is take your ropes, fold them in half, and attach them to the circle using lark's head knots. And you're going to do that for all of your cords, and there's 64 cords altogether. Okay, now we have all the ropes attached to the ring here, and I'm just going to show you starting on this one. Each triangle is going to have 8 ropes to make up that triangle. So I'm starting with this 8 right here. First we're going to do 3 square knots, then a row of 2 square knots, and then 1 square knot to make a little triangle. And if you're using the same type of cord as I am, which is this beautiful soft single strand cotton, it is beautiful and soft, but it does sometimes untwist a little bit, so you might have to you'll notice me twisting a little bit to keep the rope tight. It helps your knots have a better shape to them. Okay, now we've done our first 3 square knots. Now we're going to do 2 square knots that are alternating in the alternating row. So in between these 3 here, we'll have 1 here and 1 here. Okay, so now we've got our first 2 rows. Now we're going to tie 1 more square knot right in the center. Okay, so here's our little triangle of square knots. Now we're going to tie a row of diagonal double half hitch knots we're not going to use this cord yet, we're going to use that in the next row. Same with this cord. You're going to tie 6 diagonal double half hitch knots going down and to the right. Now we're going to tie 7 diagonal double half hitches going down and to the left, and the last one will be the one that connects the 2 sides of the triangle. Now you're going to repeat that process around to make the other 7 triangles, and you're going to be skipping 2 cords in between each triangle that we're going to use in the next row. Okay, so now we've gotten all our little initial triangles done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tie another row of diagonal double half hitch knots around each triangle. So what you're going to do here is you're going to cross them like that. And then you're going to use this filler cord to go this way, And then whenever you go to do this row, you'd use this filler cord to go this way. And that way it'll keep it from having, you know, a gap here on the ring. You're going to do 7 diagonal double half hitches going down and to the right. Then you're going to use this filler cord to go down, and you're going to tie 8 diagonal double half hitches going down and to the left. Repeat that step around the other 7 triangles. Okay, now we've got our 2 rows of diagonal double half hitch done all the way around. We're going to put a berry knot and then 1 small row of double half hitches going in a little triangle shape in between each of these triangles. Take the 4 cords that are right in the middle, and you're going to tie 3 square knots in a row. All right, so now I've tied 3 square knots here. So to turn it into a berry knot, you take the 2 center cords that you used as a filler cords, and you're going to pull them up and over, and you're going to stick them right down in the center here. So you just take, this is the ends of that cord, I've just kind of wadded them up so it's easier to stick them through, and you just push them down through that hole right in the center and pull them out, or pull them down, and then it's gonna make sure they're lined up so it's going the same way, and just pull them and it will roll the little berry knot up like that. So now you have your 2 side cords and you have your filler cords, and just pull them down snug, and then you're just going to tie 1 more square knot right underneath here to hold it in place. Okay, just like that. So that is your berry knot. You can see it kind of from the side, it sticks up. So now that we did the berry knot, I'm going to show you how to do the diagonal double half hitches under it, and then you'll just do that around in each corner. You're going to grab the next cord over to the left and the next cord over to the right on either side of your berry knot, and use them as the filler cords. We're going to tie 2 diagonal double half hitches going down into the right. Now using this cord right here next to the berry knot, we're going to tie 3 diagonal half hitches going down and to the left. And just do that in between each triangle point all the way around. Okay, so at this point you can see I kind of jumped ahead and was attaching it to the outer ring, and I decided to revise the pattern a little bit. So just ignore the ring here, pretend like I haven't done that yet. What we're going to do now is how I've done here. at the tips of these larger triangles, we're going to add a little diamond shape. All you do is you're going to take this cord that you had as a filler cord for this last row of double half hitches. You're going to do 2 diagonal double half hitches going down into the left, then 2 going down into the right, and then with this cord you're going to do 2 going down into the right, and then 3 going down into the left. So you're just going to repeat that pattern on the ends of each of the large triangles and skip these smaller ones with the berry knots. Just do that all the way around. Okay, now we've done the little diamonds and it's time to attach it to this outer ring. So like I said earlier, I already kind of started and I didn't really want to take it all the way off the ring because it kind of took me a little bit. But in order to put on your ring, all you have to do is just, let's pretend that you don't have any of it on your ring yet, and this does not look like this, but you have your ends, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your ring, you have your inner ring here, you're going to take it and center it pretty well over your cords, and you're going to have your cords underneath the ring like this. So this would be how they look all the way around. And it doesn't have to be perfectly centered right away because you're going to kind of be able to adjust the knots. You're just going to tie double half hitches all the way around the ring. And you just need to pick which direction you want to go in. I like to go to the right. So what you're going to do is start with your first cord and you're going to loop it over and like that. And then you're going to loop it over again in front of the loop you just did, and then just pull it through. And so if this is your first one, you're not going to want to pull it too tight. You're just going to want to try to line it up as best you can. And what I suggest, and what I did when I started this, was tie one here and then one on each side of your circle, like one on each of the 4 sides, and try to get it kind of centered and lined up as best you can, and then continue going out from there. And you can always adjust it and recenter it a little bit, which I still have to do, mine's a little off, but all you do is just loosen knots on one side and pull them a little tighter on the other side. So you're just going to do that with all of your cords all the way around. Okay, so now I've gotten all of the cords wrapped around the outer ring with double half hitch knots, and I went around and I positioned them so that they were going in this configuration because I just thought it was really pretty. And then what we're going to do is add some extra cord to these gaps just with cow hitch knots to fill in before we make it into fringe. So I just took, you're going to need 32 pieces of cord and it's about 10 inches long, and this is folded in half. And then you're just going to attach it in these, so 2 will go in each space. So just do that in each gap all the way around. There'll be 16 of these gaps all together, And on each one we'll need 2 cords, so you'll need 32 pieces of fringe altogether. Okay, now I've flipped mine over on the back, and this is an optional step, but I'm going to do it just in hopes that these knots won't loosen up over time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of tacky glue on the back around the all around the outside rim or the outside ring, just on the very back, and just kind of smooth it down over the backs of the knots, and I think that will help keep it a little bit more secure. Now I'm going to let the glue dry, and then after that we will flip it back over and trim down the fringe. Alright, so now the glue has dried on the back overnight. Before we cut the fringe, I just wanted to mention a couple options when it comes to hanging your wall hanging here. What I'm planning on doing is just having a nail in the wall and just setting it onto the nail, like right here in this middle. But say if you wanted this to be the top, you could take the cords in the center of this, make sure that's the 2, and you could tie just an overhand knot here and have a little hanger, and you can make it short so it's down like close to how long you're going to have your fringe, and that's another option. You can hang it like that, or if you want, you can also just have, once you get all the fringe cut and everything, you could tie a piece of string to the back so that it makes kind of a triangle shaped hanger. So that's another option as well. But like I said, I'm just going to be hanging mine on a nail just right on the wall, so I'm not worrying about a hanger for this one. What I'm going to do now is just cut the fringe all the way around. I'm going to be leaving approximately 2 inches on here, and then I'm going to brush it out, and I may cut it down a bit more, but I just want it to be able to stand up easily and not get droopy and still be enough to brush out around it. Now I'm going to get my pet brush out and brush it out really well all the way around. Give it one more good trim, nice and straight, and it will be ready to hang. If you want, you can spray some of the stiffening spray or some hairspray onto the fringe before you give it its final trim to help it kind of stay in place. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more crafty tutorials and DIYs. Thanks for watching!